nuts and meats, dick around. Oh, balls, nuts and meats. Now we're all like,
oh, it's the fact that nuts and meats were together. I see. Okay. I can't even that's on me. That's my fault.
nuts and meats, nuts and meats.
Well, we have a title for the episode.
Hey, we're live now.
We are live now.
Well, we should or something, huh? But
Why, hello, and welcome to issue 564 of Geek in the City Radio. I am one of your hosts, Aaron Duran.
I'm one of your other hosts, Beanarita.
And I'm your other host, Cable Hashitani.
And our special guests this week are Greg and Lindsay from Building Character.
oh,
Cool. Great to be here again.
Yeah, what's up, everybody?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm soft boiling
Right?
in the room is what I'm doing.
I like how literally, like, how's it all going? We're all like, oh, chug.
Bro.
Gestures vaguely at
Fine. It's fine.
everything.
Fine.
I was late because I had too many things on my desk.
I just straightened my desk out. It feels fantastic.
Thought you were
Oh,
gonna say
no.
you had too many drinks on your desk. Like I couldn't choose which one to gesture with.
There are only 2 drinks on my desk, but there are 4 herbal care packages. There's a little stash of snacks for upcoming road trip. And then there's wires everywhere because there's the camera and the headphones. And I just couldn't get to my drink fast enough.
Where's your road trip? Where are you going?
Astoria?
Oh, I thought you meant you were doing something before that.
No.
It's only a 2 hour. How much snacks do you need?
Just 2 snacks.
Enough, Aaron. Enough.
They're like right
Okay.
here because that's where there was a free spot. And then
We
like,
still have to get Cable the Captain's Booty with the Captain Crunch in it.
Yes, we
Ooh.
do.
Is that the gross out? Where do we get that?
No, I've actually seen it at QFC and stuff.
Okay.
God damn it. I was at Safeway yesterday and forgot to pick a bag up.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
Other good news for those of you who go to Target, all the Monster cereals are now there.
Oh,
Somebody might have had Blueberry Crunch for dinner.
Oh, I'm trying not to give
Diet.
Target my money anymore.
They don't?
I said I'm trying not to give Target my money anymore.
Yeah, well, they're the only ones that carry the cereal.
Why are you not giving Target your money?
Because they funnel money into hardcore right-wing groups.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
they all do.
I know. I'm trying
they probably
to just,
do it the least amount.
Yeah. I'm either like just kind of pushing for trying to buy local more often than not, or in a pinch, as long as they're a more eco-friendly option, which is why I have that subscription to Grove that some of you guys also do. They try to be, they are at least plastic neutral, and their like long-term goal is to become no plastics.
Yeah.
I mean
But
that's why I'm
Blueberry Crunch.
Wednesday at Wendy's anymore, as I found out that the Wendy's CEO is a major Trump donor and supporter. So I was like, you know what? Like your square patties, don't like them that much.
Well, I mean, cutting out fast food is not a horrible thing anyway.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I'm doing that, but I'm not. I'm just not eating at Wendy's anymore.
Specifically them. I would say if I went to Wendy's once per year, that's a high number. But I do have a late night weakness for Taco Bell, and they're also on that list of donors.
They're all, I mean, look, rich people are always going to pay to protect other rich people. Like,
Yep.
That's just how it is. Some things will never change. I'm very musical today. I'm just warning you all.
Okay.
All right.
So
Fair.
everything will
Here we
make
go.
because I started decorating for Halloween today, so that's why I'm happy.
Hey,
But it's
How
not.
many days until Halloween? Lindsay, how many days until Halloween?
60.
60.
Woo! I was waiting for her to say 364.
You have to
There's
wait
only
a while
300.
to come back around. I will.
I have to wait 61 days before I can do that one.
Yep.
How's it? Well, I already asked how everybody's doing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all seem to be meh.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
be worse. Could be better.
Sack says in the chat, no ethical consumption under late stage capitalism, except tipping strippers.
Get behind that.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
True.
That is, yeah. I will give that one.
Oh yeah, it's all good old homegrown booty.
Homegrown booty. Man, really, everything I'm turning into a song. Very
that.
weird.
Sorry, I was going to go somewhere else with the tipping strippers thing. That was a bit of news that came out recently. I know we're all doing things, and I know that we're all trying to fight evil in whatever ways we can.
Oh, is this the OnlyFans thing?
We need to throw decriminalization of sex work onto the things that we're already doing.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
It just needs to happen.
It does. You're absolutely right.
And yes,
Yeah,
it's because
I mean-
of the OnlyFans thing.
Yeah.
There's the whole like, well, they sell their body, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you know what? Here's the thing.
All labor is selling your body.
Exactly.
Right. You try to convince me that when you like buy my writing, you're not getting a massive like part of what I myself have poured into it. It's just that you feel oogie about people selling bodies. And if that's the reason, at least fess up to it, but don't create some weird moral reason.
I mean, you could argue that like being in the military is selling your body. You're literally putting your physical self in harm's way, quote unquote, to protect freedom, whatever you want to tell yourself. And they fucking glorify the shit out of that. And
Well,
it's
America
essentially
loves
the same
violence.
thing. Yeah. The only difference is like one is for pleasure, one is for death.
Right.
One is
Pleasure or death.
predominantly women, and one is not. And the one
Mhm.
that is predominantly women, everyone wants to control.
It's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it really is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Patriarchy. It's always the fucking patriarchy.
Renting your body to the government to do with what they wish.
Yeah. And my body's ruined now. It's been in steady decline since I was 22.
Yeah, I should have gone into stripping.
I probably should have. Back when I had a body for it. Damn it. See?
Yeah,
Choices.
You know what? This is Portland. You could still, you know what?
sure.
You could do it.
Yes, if I really wanted to, I could still get cash for some TNA.
A lot of hard work though. Like they're
You have to do your own marketing. You have to do all your own financial issue. Your money. You have to do all your own money.
You have to do your own accounting.
Yes, thank you.
Since real life is not like that movie Night Shift with Michael Keaton and the Fonz,
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler. And have you guys seen Night Shift?
No.
Mm-mm.
So it's like, it's a weird tangent. It's like an early to mid 80s movie. I think it was like Michael Keaton's first major film. And like, they both work the night shift at a city morgue. But Henry Winkler is like a burned out like Wall Street guy. So he needs a job that has no stress. So he works the night shift at a morgue. And Michael Keaton is this guy that's always trying to come up with like weird ideas because he's a wannabe entrepreneur. So like one of the things he has, he's like, you buy tuna fish in the can and then you have to take the mayonnaise and you've got to make it yourself. What if you just put the mayonnaise in the can and that's how you bought it? No, wait. And he always has a tape recorder. He's like, feed mayonnaise to tuna fish. Click. But then one day, I don't remember how it happens, but like one day, like they run into like a couple of prostitutes, and I think because like it's a pimp thing or whatever, and they wind up becoming friends with them. And Henry Winkler is like, he asks the women like how much they make, and like how much does the pimp take, and Winkler's character goes into full like investor mode, and he's like, well, like we could become like your quote pimps or whatever, but we'd only take like 5%, like a usual like stock, like an investor's fee, and we'll help you build portfolio. Like he literally builds up like portfolios, and they start to buy their own houses, and they're able to like buy group health insurance. But then like the like pimps and cops all find out. And it's a weird wacky comedy, and it's an 80s comedy, so there's gratuitous boob shots fucking everywhere. But the movie is actually legitimately really charming. And it's all about, and he gets all stressed out all over again because he ends up making so much more money again doing this. And he's like, I can't do this anymore. But it's a cute movie. Anyway, tangent. Night Shift. You should look for it.
Good tangent. I'll look into it.
Yeah.
That's very relatable. The idea that to me anyway, the idea that like, oh, you get into something to like take the pressure off. but you're always going to be yourself and your instincts are always going to kick in. And he turned it into this machine like he always does.
Right.
And then he's in the same boat as ever where he's just responsible for everything.
Right.
So
yeah.
The other selling points to this movie is it's a Ron Howard movie.
Oh, shit, It is? Oh, that's right. Okay.
And the lead prostitute that they become friends with, which is why they turn the morgue into a brothel.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Is Shelley Long.
Oh, I love Shelley Long.
Oh,
Wow,
And
how
of
do I
course-
not know about this movie?
Because it's a Ron Howard movie, Clint Howard is in the movie.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah, 1982.
Yeah, it was. I remember it being like super charming. Like, I think when I first watched it, I was just excited because, like, oh, it's a movie about prostitutes. That means I'm going to see a lot of boobies, and you do. And I probably would have been like way too early to watch that movie. But years later, I rediscovered it. And I'm like, wait, this is actually really charming, and it's kind of interesting to read about and stuff, or watch.
It sounds like a better version of Dr. Detroit,
Yeah, I could see that.
or a more earnest version
Right.
of Dr. Detroit.
But yeah, anyway, Cable, if you want to tell people like the thing with OnlyFans, like if you want to do the quick,
Oh yeah, for people
breakdown.
who haven't heard.
Okay.
Or people don't even maybe know what OnlyFans is. So
OnlyFans is a platform where you can make money by connecting with people who are fans of work that you do. A lot of that work is adult in nature, but that is not solely what that platform is designed for.
I've seen
Hmm?
cosplay community have some
Yeah, a lot of cosplay as well.
corner
Oh,
of
yeah.
it, cosplay community.
I'm guessing
Huge.
it's a highly visual platform.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the thing that helped popularize it is Instagram's weirdly puritanical algorithms that don't let you post anything that could be construed as offensive, and by which I mean women's nipples.
right.
But so OnlyFans also has a feed, and you can follow people. You can either subscribe to their page. There are paid subscriptions and there are free subscriptions. It just depends on how people set them up. A lot of people that have free subscriptions will do pay-per-view, so they'll do extra content that you can pay for as you go. It's like, oh, I'll pay $10 for that, or I'll pay $30 for that. Bella Thorne, who is an actress, Hollywood actress, jumped on OnlyFans, promised a nude photo, set up an OnlyFans account, and then promised a nude photo pay-per-view for $200.
Made $1 billion.
Yes,
How much?
$1 million. No.
$1 million. Yes, $1 million.
That's
Um,
crazy.
And
Right.
then it turned out to be not a
Scam.
nude. It wasn't actually a nude, so everyone was pissed off and asked for their money back. And that is what has caused the problem. Is OnlyFans was not set up to react to this in any way, shape, or form in a that's helpful.
Because everyone
and-
demanded their money back, right?
Yes.
I mean, OnlyFans, their policy is if you get scammed, we will reimburse you. But
Mhm.
they set up to deal with someone scamming on such a huge level.
Yeah.
So now they have instead put restrictions on how much people can be paid in tipped and paid in single increments, down to $50 and $100, and that has negatively impacted all of the sex workers, everyone on OnlyFans, but very specifically the sex workers who are like, well, fuck this.
They've also
This is-
limited so you can only get paid, like take out once a month.
Oh
Instead of
yeah,
every
yeah.
It used to be weekly.
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever had to like switch a job where you went from a weekly paycheck to suddenly a monthly paycheck, but that
That
is
shit's hard. If you haven't, if you are at an income level where you live paycheck to paycheck, fuck
Which-
yeah, that'll ruin that. Yeah, that is a huge throttling of your. You know, I'm going to assume in a lot of these cases the primary, if not only, source of income.
Yeah.
Especially during a pandemic where everyone is supposed to be at home.
I actually, it's like, I think I joked with some friends about this a few months ago, but you live in Portland, the odds of you having strippers as friends is pretty high. Or at least having a few acquaintances that their primary job was stripping.
Yeah.
But when COVID shut all that down, I think I joined like 8 different OnlyFans, like at their base level, like for like $1.99 a month, because they're all people I know and I don't see them in the clubs ever, but I know what they do, and I'm like, here's some income. It's not much, but this sucks that you could no longer do your job.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I felt, odd. I was like, oh, there's my friend's boobs.
Yeah, but that's a different discussion.
That's a me thing. That's not a.
But it's not just a you thing. But it can be a different discussion for a different day.
Sure.
So overall, that's what happened with OnlyFans, and the thing that no one's going to champion the cause of sex workers except people who are sex workers.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to.
If you aren't one, then you're a pervert.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the.
Well, and she also tried to create a movie deal out of it too.
Oh, did she? I didn't hear about that. I just
And she actually she named a filmmaker, and then he got put on blast, and he's like, whoa, I've never.
Yeah, he came out and said, "This is 100% bullshit. I have never had these conversations." It's like, I've had conversations with Bella. We've never agreed to do this, and I'm sure as hell not doing anything with her now.
Yeah, because apparently he has been working on a documentary for a few years about people who make a living through like OnlyFans or ManyVids or whatever. So she just was like, well, I'll work with him. And he's like, whoa, no.
Oh.
So I actually had not heard of her before this.
Me either.
That I would know.
So apparently she's like she used to be like a Disney TV star.
That's what it is. She was a fucking Disney kid.
Yeah, she was a Disney kid.
They're all real fucked up.
Yes, because they become adults, and as soon as they hit 18, everyone wants to see them naked.
Right.
It's like,
that's the thing.
Why?
Weird.
Yes, it is. Like,
Yeah,
it's the same thing that happened with Lindsay Lohan. It's the same thing that happened with Britney Spears.
Although usually they only hurt
Gomez.
themselves. They're not like wrecking things for entire communities.
Turns out with Britney Spears, it's her dad.
Yeah.
Been following that shit show. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to like make excuses for anything that Lindsay Lohan has done in her life that's shitty to other people, but we as a public also like latched onto that train wreck and wanted more information for it. And Bella Thorne is the same way. She is who she is, and I don't think that that's good or bad or the other. But I also don't care about her because I didn't watch whatever Disney show that she was on when she was 11, and then followed her career until she became of legal age, because gross.
Because you're not one of those guys.
No. Fucking I remember back when I worked on radio. When I worked on radio, one of the radio DJs would always tell people about the Olsen Twins Countdown website that was really, really messed up.
Yeah. Yeah, and another aspect of that is I've been reading on Twitter and stuff, other people's accounts that are weighing in, and are like, that community is like, here's someone who is not part of our community, who's well off, who didn't need to come onto this site, didn't need to do this, but waded into our world, shat on everything, and then flounced away. And they're going to be fine. She's going to be fine. She doesn't need OnlyFans. She doesn't care about OnlyFans. There's no repercussions. I feel like she should pay back all of those people that wanted the money, not the OnlyFans, business. It should be Bella Thorne paying them back.
Absolutely. That was my takeaway, is why is the platform essentially punishing all of the other people who use the platform appropriately for the actions of one person who, I'm going to say did it knowingly. You don't accidentally, or like you can't misunderstand the concept of nude versus not nude.
Yeah.
Especially when like you're teasing it to like garner sales and attention. That was the one thing that really, really didn't make sense to me, is why is this the reaction that OnlyFans is taking?
Right.
Because they're a company and they have to take the way companies seem to think is we have to take the path of the lowest common denominator that's going to not get us sued.
Mhm.
Every company seems to operate under kindergarten rules. One person does it, so the whole class gets punished.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
dope.
Which kind of seems to be how America handles everything,
Yeah.
except gun reform.
I always used to say like, oh, well, one person did something stupid and now we have to have this stupid rule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, as a culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. We started off nice and grumpy now. Well, before we get rolling into building character, this is still D&D related. We talked about it a little bit before we went live. Wizard of the Coast has an amazing new hardback supplement coming out. Comes out what, late August or late autumn, or is it late or early winter?
It's coming out in November.
Oh, November. Okay.
That's why we're taking pre-orders for it now, Aaron.
Yes, I know. I literally read the article like 2 hours before you texted me, and I was like, yes, I was going to hit you up anyway. The book is called, anybody know offhand without me looking it up?
Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And for those D&D nerds that recognize that name, it is, yes, that's Tasha of Hideous Laughter.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot within the lore of D&D, because she's not often written about, which sucks. I forgot how strong she is in like the Greyhawk setting. Like, you don't mess with her. And she's kind of a, like, if D&D ever actually had like a true neutral spellcaster, it's her. She kind of plays all the angles, as it were.
Yep. She's been the hero in some stories, the villain in others. She's a very, like, she's the author of the Demonomicon, and
So metal.
and all sorts of that ties everywhere. There's a whole like story of a love affair with Grazit, the demon prince, and he was bound by her. She bound him, had like actually captured the demon prince, which is like not nothing at all.
That's pretty metal.
That's some pretty metal shit. Yeah, she's pretty rad, and I'm not like super stoked on the name of the book, because we already had Xanathar's Guide to Everything, and like from what I know, Tasha isn't like super well known for her cauldron, but like she is the witch queen. So like I see parallels there.
Right.
It's the contents therein are going to be really cool. It's a big a big guide that will help players and DMs alike.
Yeah, and it seems like it's the first full book that's going to incorporate a lot of the social changes that Wizards of the Coast has been working into D&D.
Yeah.
Like all the odd or problematic racial stuff is being thrown out. This is the first time they're trying it. And like there's going to be elements where you can kind of just build any kind of class you want. It's super exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a structure that will give you more autonomy on like what bonuses you have. They're gonna decouple the bonuses from like the racial traits, so that you don't feel like, oh, I'm a dwarf, so I'm only ever gonna have a +2 to my constitution, even if like maybe I was raised by elves and are like in the nimblest, little springjack flea of a dwarf. So that's cool.
Yeah, like one of the examples I read was like, say you want to play an elf, but you really don't want to do the whole like, I'm good with a longsword and a bow and I'm super swift. But like, what if you want to play an elf that was like, I wanted to always test the endurance of my body, and so I was always fasting and going out into extreme environments and making my body more and more hardy. And like, all right, then give yourself the con bonus. Like, you don't have to do this anymore. So it's super exciting.
But that's cool. They're gonna have 22 new sub races or subclasses. I mean, so 22 new subclasses. So basically, like anything, like
basically building character will never end.
Which is excellent, but it's also like if you've looked at any subclass that has gotten a revision in the last year, there's a good chance it's going to go into this book. So that's very exciting. The psychic and psionic stuff will probably make its way in there, which is exciting.
I think they said it's going to be in there.
Yeah.
The only downside to a book like this is it always makes you want to do like a reset on a campaign. Like, I want to work it all in now. Dang it.
Yeah. They also have sidekicks like fully fleshed out, which is something that was available in the D&D Essentials kit, which I never looked through because it was kind of like it was kind of marketed as like, hey, here's something for new players. Mm-hmm. But the sidekicks are like simplified classes. So there's like the warrior, the expert, and the caster or something, and it's just like more basic. But the cool thing is that it's also a little more inviting to new players who like maybe haven't played before and are just like, and you're like, all right, well, you can join our campaign and you can be a sidekick character until you like get the feel of things, and then you can turn that expert into a fully flushed out rogue, or you can turn that warrior into a fully flushed out fighter class, or that
like
warrior
a sampler kind of situation.
Yeah.
Dip your toes in, and or like if you're not sure you can commit to being there every single week for a game, maybe that's something more your speed, but you still want to hang out, or it just gives you a little bit more flexibility in your time and how much energy you put into it. And then when you're ready, if you're ready, you can bring that up and slot it really easily.
I could also see it being used as potential one-shots where you're like, all right, we're going to play the scrappy villagers where like something bad's happened in town, and like you three were picked, you drew the lots. Okay, we're going to go fight the goblin. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I could also see it really well in that sense for like foreshadowing for like a game. Like, all right, here's this town and you're playing these characters, and like, maybe you're going up against a giant or something, and then everyone is wiped out, and then as your actual heroes, you roll in through this town being like, what happened? But the players actually played the villagers that are now dead.
You get to play the sad prologue.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of really fun opportunities for that. I'm really excited about that as an option.
And there's going to be more magic items. Like in Xanathar's guide, they had a whole list of common magic items. In this book, there's going to be a new list of uncommon and rare magic items and artifacts. So like the Demonomicon is going to be in there as well. They mentioned that already.
Right.
So I'm excited for more toys to throw in a campaign.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for it for sure. Yeah, so that's definitely something that I'm pumped about. So a lot of good things happening in D&D right now. So I feel
that's this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, now that it's September, that means Rime of the Frost Maiden is going to come out, and that's that like horror. The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing inspired.
Ooh, right.
Not
That's coming out in like 14 days or something.
Oh, it means I got to stop by Guardian Games soon.
Uh-oh.
You're signed up for that one too.
Oh yeah, no, I know. No, no, the only one I canceled was the Curse of Strahd Revisited because I caved and bought that big ass wanky version.
I can't wait to see that.
I can't wait either. It's gonna come with a giant wall map of Barovia, and I don't know where I'm gonna put it. It might end up just going on my living room next to my map of Castlevania. Oh,
There you go.
Wait, yes.
Oh my god, it'll be just nothing but fictional vampires on my wall. Got Nosferatu, Castlevania, and Barovia.
That
I'll be in
works.
heaven.
So there's a side question for you. Why has no one? I think we've talked about this before. Why has no one done a Castlevania RPG or at least a Castlevania setting for D&D 5e?
I don't know. I have
Other
wanted
than
to.
rights.
Right.
Yeah.
Rights.
I would imagine that the reason no one has done even a crappy one would be rights.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Litigious.
yeah that one. I tried actually. I think like in high school, I tried to write like a short Ravenloft style Castlevania adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I learned is you can't write a D&D adventure to operate just like a video game because, you know, in a role-playing game, you can't use a whip to take out a skeleton with one strike. Like that's, and at the time I wasn't thinking, I was like, it's going to be just like the video game. And I'm like, well, that doesn't work. There's actually a lot of video games that would make decent RPGs.
There's just a new Hellboy RPG was just announced a week or two ago.
Right. Yeah, I know that one.
I missed that.
That's because it's on Kickstarter and it funded by 500% on day one.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going, isn't it?
It's hell. Yeah, it is. It's like on day
yeah.
18, or it's got 18 days to go. Now I hear about these things because it's like,
Yeah, no, I saw it too, but it's one of those ones that I will wait until I actually see it, like in a store,
mhm.
because I don't know a whole lot about the company, Mantic Games.
Mm-hmm.
Mantic's all right.
Yeah.
They're not awful.
All right.
They've made some solid games. I believe Kings of War is their tabletop miniatures game, which people seem to enjoy.
Okay.
I mean, it's not Warhammer 40K, but nothing is.
Right.
Warhammer 40K is the 800-pound gorilla in the room of tabletop miniature games, and it's always going to be.
It's always going to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Games Workshop knows what they're doing and has been doing it well for a long time.
I wouldn't agree that they've been doing it well the entire time.
Okay.
But they
I
went.
will admit, miniature wargaming is not exactly my wheelhouse.
Mhm.
So I will concede to.
It's interesting because when I started working at Guardian, they were going through a huge shift at the top where they were like firing people and hiring new blood. This is like, we're not making the money that we should, and we're not connecting with our customer base the way we should be, because we're Games Workshop. Everybody should be playing Warhammer. And like, I think one of the key components of that is there was a less than a 2-year period between 7th edition Warhammer and 8th edition Warhammer.
Ooh.
Yeah. That was, they're like, oh, we're going to ditch everything in 7th edition because that's all bullshit. We're making 8th edition. It's like, but we've barely put it out. We don't care. We need to fix this, and we're fixing it now.
Wow.
9th edition just started rolling out. And it's rolling out in a way where it's like, here are the new models that you need for this particular faction. Here's everything else that you need for all the models you already have.
So they do kind of at least make it slightly backwards compatible?
Yes.
That's
Because that's an expensive hobby to have to re-up every couple of years.
oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah. And they will still spend that money.
I know.
They're like, oh, well, new edition's out. I'm going to go and buy new Space Marines. It's like, I've seen your Space Marine army. Why are you getting a new one? Well,
These
'cause
are-
I
these are
like the new
different.
models. They're cool. It's like, okay. Like the faction that they reskinned the entire thing was the Necrons, which is the undead faction.
Right.
And they haven't had a good tune-up since, I think, 7th edition. So it's like, here's the one that we're focusing on, and now we're like, okay, so I can buy these new models because they are new and they're better looking than the old sculpts.
Right.
Cool. I got you.
Yay.
So yeah, there it is. Well, is this a good time to roll right into building character?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right.
Ready?
Imagine Dwarven metal right now. Like, that's right.
Don't you put it in post?
Yes, I could. I could do it right here.
Fantastic.
Note to self: remember to put it in post. All right. It's a new installment of Building Character with Greg and Lindsay, and this week it is
Sorcerers.
Sorcerer.
magic time.
Yeah.
Sorcerers. These savvy spellcasters sojourn into strange sanctums, seeking storied treasures and scintillating secrets from slimy sepulchres. Spinning spells to suit their situations, sorcerers see magic not as something to slog over inside a stuffy study, but instead a singularity that shines within their souls.
Oh my God.
Dive in.
Well done.
Thank you.
Stupendous.
Stupendous.
Ah,
Splendid.
I helped.
satisfying.
Super.
Greg, I feel like you need to send me these write-ups so I can at least put them in the comments whenever we post a new show. I feel like they're wasted if you only just get to hear them.
I can yeah. So this class, in my opinion, gives the players the most options for why they have magic, why they are magical. While a wizard and bard are studying magic, and the warlock, the cleric, and the druid are gaining magic from higher powers, the sorcerer has magic because reasons.
Well,
The-
that makes
these
sense.
Yeah.
These reasons can be reflected in your origin, which we'll get into in a moment. But the sheer potential as to why you do magic is pretty amazing. You could have been born during the height of a major magical confluence, or you could have been sneezed on by a dragon. Because few sorcerers share the same situation that brought upon their magical inclination, you are unique among your peers. And depending on the setting, that could even make you a liability.
Ooh, built-in backstory for the win.
Yes. So, here are the first level facts. Sorcerers begin with 6 hit points and must roll a d6 while leveling up. You're as squishy as they come, so as a sorcerer, every hit point counts. Don't make Constitution your dump stat. You have a handful of weapon proficiencies: daggers, darts, slings, light crossbow, and quarterstaff. So most of these are finesse or ranged weapons, so having a solid dexterity score will help with your AC and with your weapon attacks. Your proficiency bonuses are added to your constitution and your charisma. Con is important for resisting all kinds of monsters' effects, like poison, and also maintaining concentration spells. Charisma saving throws are less useful, but super important if you're playing in a campaign with a lot of ghosts or Umber Hulks.
However, charisma, don't count it out. That is the ability that your magic keys off of. So this needs to be fairly high if you want to be a capable caster. Now, if you don't want to be a capable caster, if that's your thing, go ahead and futz with it. But moving on. In that vein,
I like the idea of being the inept sorcerer.
oh, it's so much. I had one in one of the campaigns that I was running. It was a blast.
Yeah.
That's literally.
Spellcasting, the best part of being a sorcerer. So sorcerers begin the game with the most cantrips of any class. You continue to gain them as you level up. So you get to pew, pew, pew to your heart's content with all sorts of little annoying things. It's great. Let's see. This effect is offset, or this is offset by having fewer spells known just like out of the gate, and you only learn a single new spell at a time as you level up. So a little bit of a trade-off, but man, you could do some serious shenanigans with just some cantrips.
Right.
Standout feature that defines a sorcerer is their origin, like Greg was talking about. What imbued you with the magic that you possess? There's some options provided in the Player's Handbook and Xanathar's Guide, and they each give the sorcerer 2 distinct abilities at first level. So first you get wild magic, which is actually my favorite because it's just kooky dukes. So a wild magic sorcerer is fit to burst with raw magic. Maybe you or your parents were exposed to the roiling power of elemental chaos through a planar portal, or perhaps you're a complete anomaly searching for why you have magic at all. At first level, you gain the wild magic surge ability, which allows you to roll a d20 after casting a first level spell. If that roll is a 1, you then roll on the wild magic surge table. In that table, there are 50 options that will augment, distort, or otherwise alter the spell that you just cast. Whatever happens, it is bound to be interesting. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them will just make you green, you know? And if those 50 won't do it for you, there are a ton of wild magic tables all over the internet that just get crazy with it.
I saw someone tweet one time that they had rolled their 1 and they're like, well, I guess I spend the rest of the day as a plant.
Yep.
Aw.
Yep. That is one. You instantly become a potted plant.
My wild magic sorcerer
It wears off. Get better.
in my game, she rolled her 1, and I was using an online table, and everybody present, every living creature present, ended up with a numerical tattoo somewhere on their body. In order, triple digit, and she got to choose the number that it started with, but that wasn't the one that was on her. And so it was like...
And she got to choose the location of where that tattoo appeared, didn't she?
Did she? I can hardly remember now. But
I would put a number 352 on my left butt cheek if I had the option.
Okay, so they were all on the left butt cheek. But yeah, and it was every living being. So it was all of everybody in the caravan, all the bandits, the horses, every creature in the area. So yeah, lots of really fun stuff you can do with that. You also gain the ability Tides of Chaos, which allows you to gain advantage on an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check of your choice. So afterwards, you cast your first level spell or higher, and then your DM will make you roll on that wild magic table immediately. And then you can regain the use of that spell. So, or the use of that ability.
Yeah. It's so that the play style for the wild magic sorcerer is kind of you're playing with chaos, you're playing with fate, and it's a lot of fun. The next origin is called the Draconic Bloodline. Your innate magic comes from draconic magic. Perhaps one of your ancestors was a dragon disguised as a humanoid. Perhaps a blood pact was made and magic bloomed within your family tree every few generations. Whatever the cause, you have a tie to draconic magic. The 2 abilities you begin with are Dragon Ancestor and Draconic Resilience. Dragon Ancestor gives you a leg up when conversing with dragons, as well as determining what sort of dragon your ancestor was, which gives you other bonuses later on in the class. Draconic Resilience gives you a boost to hit points and an increase to your AC due to the dragon-like scales that appear on parts of your body. The next origin is called the Divine Soul Sorcerer. This origin ties you to something celestial, like an angel, or perhaps your birth was during a prophetic event, and now you're linked to the gods. This origin allows you to learn spells from the Cleric class using the ability Divine Magic. You also gain the Favored by the Gods ability, which allows you to add 2d4 to a failed saving throw or missed attack roll, possibly changing the outcome. this class creates some really interesting possibilities, especially when meta magic is factored in.
There'll be more on the meta magic later.
Yes.
So the next one is shadow magic. So perhaps you live near an opening to the Shadowfell and were altered by its glooming energies. Perhaps, like the draconic bloodline, you can trace your lineage to something that called that plane home. Whatever the origin, you are now channeling magic from there. So you gain Eyes of the Dark, which is superior dark vision, and with added benefits as you level up. And then an otherworldly ability called Strength of the Grave. I love this. You can convert an attack that would drop you to 0 hit points to instead drop you to 1 hit point. Little boost.
Awesome.
Yeah. There's also Storm Sorcery. Your magic is thanks to the raw power of elemental energies. Perhaps you were born during a magical tempest, or maybe your great-great-grandmother was a powerful djinn. Whatever the reason, the magic of the storm now surrounds you. Your first level feature includes Wind Speaker, which allows you to know the primordial language and all its dialects. And also Tempestuous Magic, which is an ability that gives you limited flight after casting a first level spell or higher.
Yeah. At level 2, you're able to tap into a wellspring of magic within yourself. This ability, Font of Magic, gives you access to sorcery points, a kind of arcane currency that you can use to cash in and gain additional spell slots. Also, as a bonus action, you can expend a spell slot to instead gain a number of points back. You begin with 2 and gain another point at each level. These points become more important when we move into the last major feature of this class, meta magic. And meta magic is the ability to break the rules that other spellcasters are bound to. You begin with 2 meta magic options at 3rd level, and for a while, that's all you get. But what are these rule-breaking options, I hear you ask, Cable? Well, don't you worry. I'm about to tell you. The first is called Careful Spell. You can protect creatures that would be forced to make saving throws against a spell you just cast. By spending 1 sorcery point, a number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier automatically succeed their saving throw. So you can cast a fireball with all your buddies in there, and they automatically succeed their saving throw.
You no longer have to worry about melting your barbarian.
Exactly. Distance spell is another one. When you cast a spell with a range of 5 feet, at least 5 feet, using 1 sorcery point will double that range of your spell. If you cast a spell that has the range of touch, spending a sorcery point will make that spell distance 30 feet. Empowered spell. When you roll damage for a spell, you can spend a sorcery point to re-roll a number of dice up to your charisma modifier, but you must use the new results. This metamatic option can also be used even if you've used a different option when casting the spell. Normally, you can only augment a spell in one way. This breaks that rule. The next one is called Extended Spell. For 1 sorcery point, double the duration of a spell to a maximum duration of 24 hours. Heightened Spell is you use 3 sorcery points to impose disadvantage on a creature to resist the effect of a spell. Quickened Spell, you use 2 sorcery points to change the casting time of a spell from 1 action to 1 bonus action. Very handy. Subtle Spell gives you the ability to spend a point to cast the spell without semantic or verbal components. So when you would normally have to like wave your hands around or speak aloud to cast a spell, this removes that necessity. And finally, Twinned Spell. When a spell only targets 1 creature and does not have the range of self, you can spend a number of sorcery points equal to the spell's level to target a second creature in range with the same spell. If you're using a cantrip, you still have to spend 1 sorcery point.
So that's like a whole pile of things to choose from. What do you choose? What do you do?
Right.
If you want to do like the most damage in the least amount of time, you would choose Quicken spell and Empowered spell. They're really solid for dishing out a lot of damage in one round, real quick. Go. If you're playing for a game that calls for more intrigue, Distance spell and Subtle spell will keep them guessing like where the spells are coming from, which is a lot of fun. If you want tactical advantages on battlefield, Twin spell and Careful spell would be the best choice for you. Again, don't melt your barbarian. Very handy.
They can take it.
Wait, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So you said if you wanted to be sneakier, you would use Distance spell. And so I'm reading it and it says you can double the range, which I just mean like that means you can shoot it from further away. But it sounds like you're implying I could make it seem like it's coming from a different direction.
Well, so like if you had a spell that was a touch spell with Distance spell, you could now do it from 30 feet away. Where's it coming from? The Subtle spell, so you don't have to say or do anything to cast the spell, so they can't see your lips moving or your hands moving to cast it. Both of those things would help sort of make it so you could sort of bluff around. Oh, I didn't say anything. What? Someone's talking. I don't know.
I was definitely imagining a sort of like pseudo ventriloquist ruse that will really throw off your opponents. I like it.
Yeah, you could do something like that. Yeah. What other ones did I talk about? Oh, so heightened and extended spells are good, but we were talking, and in both of our opinion, they're just a better choice for like when you're at level 10 and you get another, like they're secondary. They're nice, but these other ones are like way better to start off with. Because like by the time you're casting spells where duration really matters and like you're going up against creatures who you really rather not make that save, those ones are going to help you out. Earlier on, the rest of the stuff's going to be much zestier.
Yeah, and so that's the breakdown of the class. Looking at like some ideas on characters in pop culture and media that like could fall into the sorcerer class. I had a lot of fun kind of bantering around with this. A storm sorcerer, duh, obviously. I thought cloak and dagger would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Magic and soul sorcerers that like have some sort of link together.
Yeah, there's symbiosis happening there. Yeah.
Scarlet Witch and Dr. Fate would be wild magic sorcerers. Like Scarlet Witch is all about chaos magic and twisting fate, especially. And then I had a bit of trouble with the dragon sorcerer because
not a lot of dragon
Examples?
heritage going on in our pop culture.
Yeah. The only one I could like think that was like a really solid connotation was the villains from Jackie Chan Adventures.
Do you remember Jackie Chan Adventures?
Oh,
I remember of it.
vividly.
I don't think that I ever watched it.
I never watched
Dearly.
it.
Jendu and
Really?
and Draco
Oh my
are-
god.
Yeah.
Here or there, but I think wasn't it like a late 90s?
It was. It
Yeah.
was.
So I would have already been in high school.
It also has Julian Sands as the bad guy, which I thought
Oh,
was
wow.
the strangest get.
Jackie Chan Adventures is one of those eras where like I had very limited TV, so there's like a 2 or 3 year block from like 98 to 2000 where I'm like, I don't know.
I want to say that the character design for the show was Jeff Masuda, who also then followed up with the Batman cartoon, which followed the Batman
nice.
animated
I
series,
believe you're right.
Oh,
which is why I always referred to it as Bat-Chan.
nice. For the dragon sorcerer, what about a character like Maleficent? She's a sorceress type, right? And she turns into a dragon in the movie. So the implication could be made that she derives her magic source from some sort of incident with a dragon or
Because
part blood.
his fae, she's born with the magic instead of like studying it.
Does count as
Mhm.
sorcerer.
Not a bad argument at all.
Yeah.
Oh wait, and I thought of one too. Based on some of his abilities and one of his fatalities, Liu Kang could be a dragon sorcerer.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's a good one too.
Ace in the chat says Sauron.
Who?
Suggests Sauron. So,
Mm.
Sauron.
I always just sort of assumed he was a wizard and therefore like studied his craft.
I did glance a thing that
I'm not a Tolkien scholar, so I don't know. Where's Nat?
That's funny that he mentions that though, because based off of like the wizards in Tolkien are like actual weird like divine or otherworldly beings. They wouldn't be wizards in D&D. They would be more sorcerers. So Gandalf would be closer to a sorcerer than a wizard.
Well,
Someone
I was
also
reading
mentioned-
something that implied the same thing.
Yeah, someone also mentioned the Dovahkiin from Skyrim, the Dragonborn.
The
They actually get their
dragon,
I was gonna say there's the BBC series Merlin, and I feel that Merlin would
I've
fall
not
into that category.
yet.
Yeah, Merlin would. I also thought that while initially he would be considered probably more of a monk, the way that Iron Fist got his power was plunging his hands into the heart of a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very
Very
dragon
sorcerer.
sorcerer. That's very sorcerer-esque.
Really getting down to like setting aside the specifically dragon part of it and more like what their powers are like. Yeah, they're generally associated with elemental damage types. So like there's several X-Men that could fall into that,
right.
Yeah, if you divorce the specific dragon part, as the dragon sorcerers go up in level, depending on what dragon your ancestor was, you get like resistances and bonuses to you get like extra damage. Let's say you're your great grandfather was a red dragon, so they're tied with the element of fire. Any spells that you cast that deal fire damage now are more powerful. So
Right.
along that line, yeah. What were you gonna say, Lindsay?
Pyro. We're red dragon sorcerer.
Yeah, Pyro would be good. A lot of the blaster type X-Men could be a pretty decent like dragon sorcerer template, with just a little bit removed. Like a white dragon sorcerer. White dragon does cold damage, so like Iceman could template for that.
You know who's not a sorcerer?
Cat? No.
Claymore. Claymore's not a sorcerer.
Claymore is not a sorcerer.
No, Doctor Strange is not a sorcerer. Now I know that
Oh, all right. You must defend this.
the Sorcerer Supreme, but he studied for it, which makes him a wizard in this.
Mhm.
I read materials backing that argument as well.
Yeah.
So misnomer in the world of D&D. I want to circle back real quick on the Dovahkiin. And the thing with that though is like there isn't like as far as I'm aware, there aren't any like characters like that you can base like the template off of. So like yes, the Dovahkiin could be a good example of a dragon sorcerer, but like there isn't a character because you're the one, you're the Dovahkiin.
Yeah.
And so as an example of like, oh, you could be like this character, that's not there, but that is a
Right.
very point. That's a very good point made that the Dovahkiin would definitely be dragon sorcerers, but in terms of like creating a character based off of another character, there's no character to base that off of.
Right.
I like Maleficent. I would definitely build a draconic magic sorcerer off of Maleficent. That'd be badass.
And then not
Yeah.
dragon based, but by default, wouldn't like all Jedi be sorcerers?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
by default.
Yeah.
And all Sith, for that matter.
Yeah, any Force user.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And in this Tasha's guide, there might be a new soul that's like more that you could make a better Jedi than what options are here. Like, I wonder if there's one that's called the Clockwork Soul that was a unearthed arcana that's all about like law and balance, which is kind of a weird, like, it seems almost counterintuitive with like a sorceress origin. It's like, oh yeah,
Or it's like the technocracy, to jump over to White Wolf there for a minute.
yeah.
And Sack in the chat is listing characters from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Because that's a world where some people just happen to have these different elemental magics.
Sure. Yeah. Bender's,
As well as other X-Men he's been pointing out as well.
Yeah.
Boom,
Oh, yeah.
Boom, Emma Frost, Pyro.
Red Tornado, not an X-Man, but
I may have to argue with Sack on Red Tornado.
yeah, Red Tornado. Isn't Red Tornado a robot?
He's a
He is.
Oh, yes, he
construct.
is.
He's a
He's an android.
construct that had an elemental put into him.
okay, so technically
So
no.
Red Tornado was technically a construct.
Mhm.
Excuse me,
Oh.
guys.
Yeah.
Be a Warforged sorcerer.
Yeah. There you go. Have a Warforged sorcerer that
Foiled again!
Perfect.
Oh, I saw a list that included someone as an example of a Warforged. Oh, Iron Man. They were saying that Iron Man is technically a Warforged sorcerer.
Yeah.
I could see that argument made, sure.
I see it more
I
as an
don't really
I see
consider
it
that
more as an
magic.
artificer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't really
That's
support
some
that one
Urza
because it's
action going on there.
all technology based.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the thing that keeps him alive is like different from the robot body he uses to
Yeah.
fight bad guys, but it's all still science based, not magic.
Sorcerer happens to be the only D&D character that I actually have.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
what's your sorcerer character?
I really hope that she shows up again because I adore that character.
I would
Everyone
love her
adores
to
that
show
character.
back out again.
Oh, yeah, that was a
Um,
great.
You got to start getting weekends off or something.
Who is she? What is she?
So she's a level 3 sorcerer. She is she has draconian background. Blue. She's related to blue dragons.
All right.
Um,
all right.
Is also a noble. So comes from money, has money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money, and dresses like she's got money. And her name is Aquafina. I'm sorry, Lindsay. I
Carry on.
didn't mean to time it that way, but that was really funny.
That's wonderful.
And he plays her so she. Oh my God.
I mean, she's just Nora from Queens. That's all she is. So
what meta did you choose?
I don't know.
Remember, because it's been over a year since you got to join us. Like,
Yeah. So
Oh yeah, last June.
yeah, and
Yeah.
we basically designed his character the ability to pop in and out because Aquafina is so loaded that no matter where they might be at, she could be like, "Guys, so good to see you again. I was just passing through.
That's
You know, I was buying a new outfit. What are you doing?"
and a new, house.
It's your
Fine.
ability to compliment everyone that
Yep.
really makes her great.
Y'all
That's all
still
she
doing
does.
that saving the world thing?
Oh,
I want to get in on that. It'll look great for me.
Her cantrips are light, mage hand, minor illusion, and true strike.
okay.
Her first level spells are absorb elements, disguise self, and magic missile.
All right. Cool.
nice.
That's
Actually,
rad.
she would have been driven nuts the last time we all got to play together. the party was trying very hard to scrounge up money to buy better armor. I came back, we were like, "What are you doing, guys?
Like here,
I got this."
it's like go 3 towns over, talk to Deuteronomy. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Tell him to put everything on my tab. Or no, put everything on my account. It wouldn't be a tab. She has an account.
Yeah, because I think during the build, when you have to have options about like your family background, it was just Aquafina is just loaded the whole way.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. Like the whole joke is she's just a crazy rich Asian sorceress.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, I miss
dude.
Aquafina. That character's so much fun.
I want to play with Aquafina. I want
You,
her to
you really do.
present.
Wait, Lindsay, were you playing with us after Cable popped in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you never got to play with
Yeah,
Aquafina.
Lindsay hasn't even had a year with us.
No.
Oh gosh.
No, it was
Stupid COVID.
it was Prime and Diana and one other dude.
Chris.
Chris, yes.
Yeah, I started playing with you guys in December. And then COVID.
God, that was like 3 years ago.
Sure.
That was 600 years ago, yes.
Yes.
We're all just becoming the old woman in the Titanic. It was 80 years ago, but I remember like it was yesterday.
Yep.
Pretty much.
And our society is just that blue. It's just that's the heart. That's the entire society.
Yeah.
She's just gonna throw it off the edge of the ship at the end. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's Sorcerers, guys. We did it. There we are.
Hey.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Is there a? I'm trying to remember. I thought I saw it. Maybe it was just one of their like online stuff that they were testing one. But is there a sorcerer that has a background of like the Far Realm, which is basically Lovecraftian? I thought I saw it.
Yes, I think so. Let me double check real quick. I feel like there was an aberrant origin or something.
Yeah, I always kind of wanted to play one and base them on Brad Pitt from 12 Monkeys, just so I could do this a lot while I'm playing.
Oh man, that would be annoying. I'm in.
Yes.
Yeah, the aberrant mind sorcerer. Yeah.
Lindsay, you don't know annoying. You never had to play with 2 dwarves with Valstoig and Denise. What was Chris's dwarf?
Oh my god, I'm not gonna remember it. It was something with a B.
Yeah.
I've played with some annoying
We
characters.
literally took credit for everything. Granted, we did most of the winning. So you know,
What?
yeah, that's true.
That's not true. Valsto. No, that's your character's
That's
name.
me.
I played
With my beautiful erotic velvet painting that sat inside our main hall.
Oh god, of a nude dwarf.
It's art, high art.
The beard covers most of the bits. It's fine.
Not on this one. She had them perfectly braided.
Held it aside.
Oh no, it was like a snake wrapping around her body. It was mwah.
Oh my god. You guys did not do most of the work.
Okay, you tell yourself that.
I even had a slogan.
Huh?
So Chris and I even had a slogan about how awesome we were at, killing bad guys.
Say they did most of the work. I heard say they do most of the winning.
Oh yeah, all the winning.
Also not true.
It was awkward because we started calling ourselves the Fist. That was the whole team. And every time we succeeded, we're like, "You've been fisted." Well, because there was 5 of us. That's why we were called the Fist.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's the only
Logical. Stabby Baby was the
Fist
pinky.
of Science.
Stabby Baby was the pinky.
Yeah, that was
That
Bean's
was
character.
my character's nickname.
Oh,
Stabby
Stabby.
baby.
Yes.
Well, because we found her in jail. She played a halfling and she was sticking her little hand out from under. And I'm like, someone's locked away a baby. Who locks up a baby?
Literally from day one, my character was the baby.
Throw baby at it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And
more
this
of an
baby had
alchemist.
her own alternate realm.
That is true. You did get to become kind of a demigod.
I jumped in the fountain.
That's true.
I love conversations about
Stuff that happened in other people's campaigns.
because it has you end up like apropos of nothing. I jumped into the fountain. I became a demigod. Like,
Well, it's funny, like because of like Facebook memories and stuff, I'm getting stuff from years ago now because we would usually like write up conversations. We just got the one where Valstoic accidentally blew up the one guy's son. We were sent to rescue him.
if you
We were
blew
saying-
him up,
Well, okay. We were sent to rescue him. He was being controlled or whatever. And I accidentally rolled a nat 20 on one of my bombs because I was an alchemist. It's Pathfinder. So
And so just like a gentle beating.
a gentle beating
From this mortal
literally blew his head off. So we were
Yeah.
trying to figure out like how to return the body without getting in trouble. And Diana played a very highborn elf who was my frenemy forever. And she's like, I don't know what to do. What are we going to tell him? I was like, let's tell him we found him that way. He's not going to believe that. I'm like, wait a minute. You're with us. Let's tell him that he died of elven cancer. She's like, that's not a real thing. I was like, yep, that's it. Elven cancer. That's what we're going to tell him.
well, elves are so much longer lived that it just tears through a human body. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yep. See, made sense.
But that's the size is so. Oh no! That's awful. I feel bad.
You should feel bad.
Jeez.
I forgot what all our characters ended up doing at the end. Well, I went back to the Drunken Monkey to run my bar that had a fire giant as a bouncer.
I don't remember what my
What do you
character did.
Fire giant to make him be.
So
That is
we
being
ran
a-
into a fire giant who was guarding an area, and it's clearly meant to be a big fight. And I was like, "What if we could convince?" And finally, we had a little bit of banter with him, and finally, I was like, "Why are you here?" I'm under the employ of the Shackle Lords or whatever. And I was like, "How much they paying you?" And then we started rolling like diplomacy, and I'm bantering back and forth, and like I rolled really high, and I was like, "I run a bar called the Drunken Monkey. It's the best bar in the realms. What if I could pay you more and you don't have to deal with adventurers?" So yeah, eventually we didn't fight him. He literally is like, "All right, it's a good deal." And he's the bouncer of the Drunken Monkey now.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
good. Cool.
Because who in their right mind is going to flex on a giant?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and also you have to watch out. Our bartender once a month turns into a werebaboon at the Drunken Monkey because he was a player who ended up leaving our group.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh,
what baboon?
Shanks.
that guy.
Which is why it's called the Drunken Monkey.
No, it was always called that. Yeah, because it had a baboon. It had a central area that had a bunch of baboons in it. But that's how we found it. No, Shanks was a player that Denise never got to meet, and he
That was
literally
before my time.
yeah. So he played a rogue, but he played the kind of rogue that didn't do any distance fighting. He was like a street brawler, and he was getting beat up so much that whenever we felt Diana's character, her cleric, whenever we felt healing energy, we're like, "Oh no, Shanks is in a fight." Like that's how we knew when we felt healing energy around. Like, "Oh, Shanks fighting." And everything he defeated was a dragon. Everywhere he went,
Dragon. It's all
he
dragon.
broke the ladies. He's like, "Oh, you know, the scar here fought a dragon. This one, dragon.
Dragon.
You know where I got this leather tunic? Dragon." It was a weird group,
Still
as
is.
all good D&D parties are.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, man, we still got about 15 minutes if people want to. What do you want to do? How's it going? You ready?
I thought we were doing this.
All right. Know any good jokes?
Hanging out. Be cool, guys.
Cable, anything to add?
I feel I don't want to bring down the room, but I feel like we ought to acknowledge the passing of Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, well,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
God damn it, Cable. You're right.
I know. I'm sorry. I should have brought this up earlier.
I actually meant to ask you guys before the show if we wanted to talk about
All right,
it.
let me get my glass. I can pour myself something stronger. Hold on.
I'm all out.
Yeah, I drank all my drinks.
Hold on. Well, if he's getting up, I have time too.
All right. Then I'll get us something to drink, Lindsay.
Yeah.
I like how we have 15 minutes left to show. Everyone gets up.
You know. Now it's the cable and gutter show.
The fact that I keep this glass in the freezer downstairs is in no way an example of me having a problem.
no way indicative of
That's
you
what I meant.
having any
Was
sort of
indicative?
problem.
The fact that I couldn't remember the word indicative might actually be indicative that I have a problem.
Well, it's not like you're a writer for a living.
Oh my God, I just watched 1408 again yesterday, and it has that line that I love so much.
What line?
It's when John Cusack is talking with Samuel Jackson, and Samuel Jackson's like, "Would you like a cigar?" And he's like, "No, He's like, "No, I just keep this here for a habit thing." He's like, just as a writer, it's a weird habit. And then Samuel Jackson like shows him this thing of like whiskey. He says, "You do drink, don't you?" And he says, "Yeah, I said I was a writer, didn't I?"
Nice. Hi, Irma. How are you?
So, yeah, Chadwick Boseman passed away 3 days ago.
43.
Yeah.
That's
Fucking A,
crazy
man.
young.
Get tested. Get screened whenever you can. That's an example. Don't wait until you're the recommended age. If you can get.
Well, here's the thing that's weird is I think the recommendation used to be.
It was 50, wasn't it?
50, and then but these days they say doctors will tell you if you're not experiencing any issues, you're fine to wait until you're 60. So they've actually been pushing it further out as the recommended time to get tested.
So
but we also have a climate, especially among men, who will have something wrong with them and they'll just go, "Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing."
Yeah,
it's true.
If there was one perk to be growing up a sickly kid, I do not have that at all. If I feel something wrong, I'm like, all right, let's go look at it. What's going on?
I am very able-bodied and have a strong immune system and do exactly that. And should have been getting tested regularly already. But I haven't been because I'm an asshole.
So from what I've seen, it's a huge hassle to get this done. I mean, like, aside from the discomfort of the actual examination, it's like a 48-hour prep window.
So
so I strained my kidney when I was like 17 years old, and so my first what do they call this?
Medical stuff.
Thank you. Rectal examination. I had to have a rectal examination because they had to feel around in there and make sure nothing else was wrong with me.
Damaged.
Yep. I lifted something that I shouldn't have lifted and then pissed blood. And I'm like, well, that's not right. But it turned out I just strained my kidney rather than ruptured anything.
That's good.
But yeah, so like I already know, like, well, this is a strange sensation. It's just gotten around to, I have never set up time to, like, I think my last physical was when I was 36.
Oh, yeah, you're due.
I'm 49. I'm
overdue.
You should definitely do it.
Yep.
I'm
disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
That's worse.
Which is almost worse from Denise.
It is
when
worse.
she's mad, she just gets it out of her system, and you can do a hard reset. And when she's disappointed, that can go on for years.
Yeah, piss me off. Okay, we'll probably get over it. Let me down.
No. But anyway, that's exactly what Boseman's passing should teach men everywhere.
So he was diagnosed in 2016.
I think it's while they were filming Black Panther, right? Was when he found out.
Yeah.
I believe he filmed Civil War, Black Panther, Infinity War, and Endgame.
Yep.
All while being treated.
Right.
Yeah.
As well as the other movies that he did during that time period.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't be as proactive in testing. I have to take an injection every 2 weeks. I never made it like a big secret. My body does not produce testosterone like at all. So like every 2 weeks I have to take an injection, and I likely will forever. The one danger to that being is that increases your chances of colon and prostate cancer. So every 2 years I have to get a check. Like every 2 years now, the doctor's like, all right, let's run screenings on both, because the injections are good for your health because they balance your body out. There's all kinds of reasons why I need to have it. But it comes with a potential drawback. And thankfully, knock on wood, I've been well within the safe range since I've had to do this. But, I'm sure there's other shit that I'm like, I don't want to test that. I don't know if I want to get bad news.
On like, as someone who spent many years without active health insurance, I just feel like we culturally we push ourselves to like work through whatever sort of like physical stuff we have going on, and like just don't prioritize health. And then if you don't have financial access to even just preventative care, just like so much shit can be wrong with you and you don't even know it. I'm of the opinion that like if you have the financial resources, or if you're at a place where you like, oh, okay, I've got a good job with good insurance, but I'm too busy because my work is so stressful. No, you got to make that time. You have to make the time while you have the opportunity and the resources, because the way our society is built, you don't always have those resources.
Right. And also, health insurance should be universal and not tied to your employer.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to laugh, Denise, when you were saying something serious, but as always, SAC hits us hard with, you've got to take some pills to trigger an eruption on Mount Dew before they can throw the one ring length eye up the eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
SAC, you're a monster.
He's aware.
But that's what we love. That's what we love about him. He knows it.
Yep.
SAC's a monster, and Norm is the gift sniper.
I do appreciate that he wrote in, flex on giants is the name of my all Keytar Stevie Ray Vaughan cover band.
I missed that one. Let's get that.
Would it be wrong if we just gave Norm and SAC their own show, or would that just dissolve into chaos like immediately?
I mean, we could do a one-timer.
There's only one way to find out.
It would be chaos, but I feel like it would be watchable chaos for at least one episode. Maybe make it a special, like y'all can go on vacation and just set them up.
Well, guess what, Lindsay? We are going on vacation. There's not going to be a show next week.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't explained this, have we?
No.
So this
why
this
would we
weekend,
explain ourselves?
Why would we explain? This weekend, Geek in the City is going on a small retreat to enjoy one another's company for the first time in 7 months.
Right. Yeah.
And
I will randomly see Denise on my porch like once every 2 months.
Basically.
And I have seen Denise once and Aaron a handful of times.
But you're at work.
At Guardian Games.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hardly counts.
Hardly counts. So we're taking a little show retreat, and we'll probably plan some stuff for the future while we're at it. But that means that we are going to be in travel recovery mode come next Tuesday. So there will not be a show 1 week from today.
Right. Well, although no promises, we might record ourselves playing board games while we're there.
This is very true.
That was supposed to be a secret surprise.
Oh.
I thought.
Well, it also may not, because we also may just be completely schnockered on whiskey and stout and pass out by 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. This is
which would also
possible.
be a perfectly acceptable way to spend a retreat.
That's true. That's true. So,
treat yourselves.
There's a chance.
Oh, yeah.
Treat yourselves.
Also, part of it, since Cape was really bad at birthdays, this was also part of his birthday.
Oh.
I'm not really bad at birthdays. I only celebrate them every 11 years.
Yeah, well, I refuse that. I will celebrate it every year.
Yeah, he doesn't agree with your system, which is why he says you're bad
Which
at it.
is totally fine.
Yeah, we're forcing you. We're forcing you to
right
enjoy.
There with me.
Yep. Yeah, no, my next birthday party will be when I turn 55.
Why did you pick that arbitrary number? Why'd you pick 11 years?
I was turning 33, and I
Okay.
like the idea of double-digit birthdays. So it's like
Oh.
I'm going to do this again. When like I went all out, I like had all-you-can-eat sushi, went dancing,
So it's what?
ran around town, just being a general idiot, and like this was a lot of fun. I should do this every 11 years
So-
because that way it becomes more special, more
So it's
important.
33, and then it would have been
44,
44, and then it'll
Yep.
be 50, 56,
55.
right?
55.
Well, that's 10 years.
No, it's 11.
44 to 55 is 11.
Yes.
Oh, to 55. I'm sorry. All right.
Yep.
It's double
And then
digits. Every time
66,
he's double digits.
77,
3, 3, 4,
88.
4, 5, 5.
And then we finish your ritual and you become a lich.
Yes, that's when that happens.
I was gonna say that the real difference.
You know, his phylactery is a minifig.
Yes, but which one?
I'm not telling. I like him. Today.
Today.
It's
Okay.
a Lego
Quick
brick.
question. If we all had to have a phylactery, what would it be?
Oh, geez. I'm gonna need a moment.
Well, I know the answer to this.
Yeah.
The map to find my phylactery.
Clever.
Because no one would destroy that.
Clever girl.
I don't know what mine would be, but I know I would keep it in a safety deposit box in a Swiss bank account. Because fuck leaving it in a volcano guarded by a dragon. People get past that all the goddamn time.
They don't get past it.
No.
You could do what a DM did that I was in an epic level campaign, and he had trapped a Tarrasque inside the phylactery. So when you shattered it, guess what happened? Good times. It was literally like, you might kill me, but I'm bringing the whole world down with it.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow.
I would probably make mine just a really generic looking stone and then just put it out in the yard somewhere or on a riverbed.
Somewhere in this rocket garden.
Like one of
Oh,
those
shit.
hide keys.
Yeah, just like a really
Nice.
nondescript
It's a
stone.
dinosaur.
Put it along a riverbank outside of my lair.
Right. Hide the keys. All right, Bean, what do you think yours would be?
You know what? I would hide mine in plain sight. It would be a portrait of like my Caucasian doppelganger, except for they would be visibly older than me, even though it's my doppelganger.
Well, it's because they're white.
Exactly.
They're always going to look older than you.
Because I'll never not think about the fact that Hispanics are just genetically about 3 years physically younger in their visage as their Caucasian counterparts.
So they'd be like Jorge Gray. I don't know.
Well, it would be a woman, so it would have to be like Juanita Gray.
Juanita Gray. That's a porn name.
Or it could be Dolores Gray.
Dolores Gray.
That's a good name.
That is
Yeah.
a good one. Cable, what
Or-
about, well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Cable, do you have one you could think of?
I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, I wouldn't give that away. Why?
Yeah, I was going to say, you all fools, it's my phylactery. I'm not telling you what it is, jackasses. You didn't see Voldemort going around telling him where all his Horcruxes were.
I did it.
This is true.
Well, this is a good place to end it.
Yes.
So, yeah, no new show next week. So we'll be back the week after that. Don't know what we're doing.
We
Maybe I'll hit
will-
up to Greg because I know he wants to kind of
Oh,
make
yeah.
up for that.
Oh
last
yeah,
time.
we missed him. We missed him recently. So
We also have
did I miss this? By the way, did we do this
fun
already?
Trek stuff. No, we didn't. We didn't do that.
We didn't do
Oh, we
that.
can save
just
it till
talked.
the end.
Yeah, you can save till the end. I have nothing to drink. Yeah, so some Trek fashion news to play with sometime in October.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah,
I am excited.
that's
Also,
a
if,
guarantees.
yeah,
Mhm.
if you're into that sort of thing, you should probably pay attention to virtual online goings on for Dragon Con this year. Because there is no real Dragon Con, but
That's this
there is
coming
some
weekend,
virtual
huh? Labor Day
Yes,
weekend.
it is Labor Day
Yeah.
weekend. Virtual Dragon Con. I have no. It's Labor Day weekend is always Dragon Con and Burning Man. Oh,
And
that's
also
what it
used to be
is. All
also
those
used to be
people are
Rose City.
Still here. Was it?
One
Yeah,
at a
Rose
time.
City. Oh, sorry.
Okay, Cable, you first.
I was just remarking that since there's no Burning Man, that's why all of these people are still in town.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like
Alright.
usually there's like 1/8 of Portland disappears in the week leading up to Burning Man because they all
Right,
start
right.
traveling.
And also, well, we already missed the Oregon Country Fair, huh? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, keep an eye on Dragon Con stuff.
Mhm.
It would be a good thing to take a voyage on.
Mm.
Wink.
What? Are we gonna do a quick little toast for those who have stuff?
Yeah, who's
to
going
our
to
to our king?
Yep. Shala.
Wakanda.
Wakanda forever.
I think he drank. Anyway. Well, with
He
that
did
all being
not.
said, I'm Aaron Duran.
I'm being Rita.
And I'm Cable Hashitani.
They have been Greg and Lindsay.
You sure have.
We'll talk to everybody next week.
Not next week.
In
Not
2
next week.
weeks. Donate
We
to
will
the Black
talk-
Brazilians Fund.
Yeah, we'll talk to everybody in the same amount of time Arnold Schwarzenegger goes to Mars. 2 weeks. All right, I'm going to end the recording.
Ted Wheeler needs to resign.